Hello everyone, this is Umana from Tixio. Today we are going to give you a walkthrough of Tixio HR. So first I'm going to talk about what Tixio HR is. It's basically a solution for all the HR admins out there who are more or less managing their employees' information and communication across endless email chains, boring paperwork, and maybe endless Google Docs and Sheets. Instead, what you can do is you can combine and collect and keep all the employee information online through Tixio, and thus you can ensure that there are informational transparency across all the employees, and it can improve the relationship between HR and employees because they'll be clear about their policies, their leaves, and everything through this online system. So there are certain features that we have in Tixio HR. I'm going to go through one by one. For example, there are people management system. There are systems so you can manage your contracts with employees. You can track their salaries and expenses month on month or year. Um, Also, you could manage leaves and approvals through Tixio HR system. So first up, you have to click on Tixio HR from the leftmost sidebar inside Tixio Workspace. As an admin, when you click on Tixio HR, you will see these features or options on the sidebar. There is a home, which basically will be become a dashboard very soon. But for now, we have an onboarding guide or a setup guideline for you to take you step by step through the configuration of Tixio HR system. Then we have people that can manage that can help you manage all your people information and directory. Uh, there is a feature called contracts where you can manage all the contracts of your employees. Uh, you can track salaries and keep the salary log for everybody's understanding and transparency. You can manage access, equipment, employee skills, and most importantly, you can manage and approve leaves through Tixio HR system. You can also create an employee net promoter score through Tixio HR and manage your own profile as well. So I'm going to go through one by one. First up is home. So, like I said before, the home is where you get the HR setup guideline. It will help you step by step to configure the entire HR system for your employees. For example, you do have employment policies, you have work schedule, leave policies, etc. So, to manage your human resources across the organization, and also you do have contracts at that that can be a year of contract or multiple years of contract. So you can all manage it, and you have to create it step by step so that your employees can get access to Tixia HR, and they also get access to all the information and feature that Tixia HR has. So first up is people. So as an owner, what you need to do is you have to go to the workspace settings and add on management. And from here, you can add your people to Tixio HR, because once you have the workspace, although you have members, they will not gain access to Tixio HR immediately. To gain access to Tixio HR, the owner must go to add on management, and from here, he can add new members. He can select the members from the existing workspace system, or he can invite more members. And thus, when the members are there, you can edit their role as an employee or HR admin. There are only two roles right now, but in future there will be more roles. For now, we have HR admin and employee roles. So as an employee, you only get limited access to Tixio HR, but as an HR admin, you get access to all the features of Tixio HR where you can configure things for your employees. So once you're done with that, let's get back to Tixio HR. So once you're done with that, now you can see the people inside the people list. So here they will have their name, skill, supervisor, location, teams, all the stuff that you might need at a glance. You can also filter out the people in terms of teams, location, supervisors, skills, etc. So once you have added the people, then you have to add the teams. I have already created two teams for you. You can create more team if you need it. You can give a name, select the member, and assign that person to a specific team. If required, you can also add a description. So once the member is in the team, you can also click on the teams and see all the members within that team and also filter out or search. You can add more people to the team like this. And you can also edit the team details if required. You can also add locations. For example, I have created one location here, and within that location, you can add more people. You can edit the location just like you have edited the team, or you can create more locations if required. So, for settings where you have global teams, you might have multiple locations, and that would really be helpful if you could add more locations and add people across the locations in future so that you can manage their leave policies and other policies separately and individually. And you can also assign supervisor to your employee like that. So you click on the employee name, and this card will open that will have all the detailed information of your employee, which we call the profile card. So within the profile card, you can edit the employee details. uh, Although the employee has already added his own details, but at the same time you can change the details, for example position title, DOBs, etc. You can also edit the employment status and add a supervisor to that person, change the supervisor if needed. You can also add teams from here or location for the employee from here. You can also add bank details in case you need that detail of an employee to be kept as a record here. You can also add skills from here. So this will let you add skill for each and every employee, or maybe you can select a skill, for example, technology, and give this level to the employee, and that person will immediately get access to that skill. You can also do a gap analysis based on the skill. And you can also upload multiple documents associated to your employee. For example, they might have a written contract, or they might have other exit letter from the previous employer, or their national ID cards, the driving license, etc. You can upload them all to keep the record here. So once you have added the supervisor, location, and teams, they will appear in this table like that, also the skills, so that at a glance you'd be able to see all the necessary details that might come handy for your employees. Once you have done with that, you can also go to the organogram and see. So this is a supervisor added to these two employees. So as many as supervisor you add, this will create a nice organogram to get a visual understanding of the team immediately. Yeah. So next up is contract. So once you have added the people, then you have to add contracts. Without contracts, you cannot manage their leave in future. So I have let me create a new contract for you. So this is how you create a new contract for an employee. You can upload your document. It could be any document that you might need. For example, I'm selecting this one as a document. It can be an image file, it can be a PDF, Excel, whatever it is. So for the contract, you can add a document and then pick the employee that you want to create a contract for. Let's say I want to create a contract for this employee. I'll add a designation, let's say operations. I have to select a start date. Let's say the start date is 1st April, and I also have to select an end date. So in the calendar, you can click on the year and you can change the year accordingly. Let's say I want to give it to 2029, December 31st, like that. I can select a leave policy. And now the leave policy is already created in the system. That is a default leave policy, but you can change the leave policy accordingly, according to your organization rules and policies. So once the leave policy is selected, as you can see, there are two leave types that has been already selected: sick leave and annual leave with 10 days and 20 days respectively. I can change that based on the contract. Let's say I want to give this person a 15 days annual leave. I can do that, or I can increase the annual leave if I require to, and then I can see the total leaves from here. I need to also select the payout cycle. It can be monthly or weekly, and also the payout amount. Let's say it's 10,000, and I will select USD, and then I hit create. So that this contract is created for this employee. So you can also filter out based on location if you have so many employees there. So it will be really difficult to find one employee's contract. So you do have search and filter options to find out the contracts. You can also click on this I button to view the contract you have created. So it will give you an overview of the contract that you've created. And you can also edit the contract to maybe change the date or maybe change the leave policy in future or payout cycle and stuff like that. Uh, Once the contract is created and is inactive, it will show this active sign next to the name. But if the contract is expired, then it will show an expired sign here, or soon to be expired, then it will show a soon to be expired sign right here, so that you can uh, get a quick glance that how many contracts are expiring very soon, or what are the contracts that has already expired and you need to work on that. Because like I said before, without contracts you cannot let your people apply for the leave or approve the leave. So the leave policy won't apply to employees unless that person has an active contract. So once the contract is created, now let's go to salary. So salaries are associated to contracts. You cannot create a new salary here, or you cannot create new items here once you have created a contract and you have provided the salary information within the contract. Like I've shown you before, the payout amount and payout currency, it will reflect in the salary section like that. So there will be an effective date for the salary and also the payout cycle as you have selected before. And it will also show the location and teams or whatever is necessary for an HR admin or salary admin to see for an employee. They can have a quick glance through the table. And also there are salary logs. There are no logs yet because there are no logs created. So once my payout cycle is hit in the next month, let's say I've created this payout cycle 100 USD per month for this person. Once this month of April ended and the new month appears, then this salary log will show uh, a new log for this employee. And as an HR admin, I can see all the salary logs for all my employees together as a list here. And I can also see my own salary as an HR because I'm also an employee for this organization. So I can see my own salary, and it will show my salary as a current because my contract is active. If the contract has ended, and I will promote it to a new salary cycle or new payout amount, then it will show as an old, and a new section will appear with current salary. Also, there is a section called bank details, which was also there in the profile section. So, in the bank details section, I can add my details for the HR admin to track and keep a record. For example, my bank account, my bank country, and there is a note section in case you don't have a bank account and you get the payment through Wise or any other system. For example, Payoneer, Wise, PayPal, etc. You can add this those information in the notes section. After salary, we have access. So you can provide new access to people. Access is mainly providing, just like LogRocket, providing them access to certain websites, certain online platforms. You can track that, how many people you have provided access to. For example, I want to give access to a specific service, let's say HelpCrunch, and this is the service URL I will set up, and I will name this, let's say, HelpCrunch, and I will select the user's email and maybe add a note and then create. So once I do that, it appears in the list here. So in this way, HR admin can track that whether or not this person has all the access he's required to fulfill his duties or not, so that HR admin doesn't miss on anything. For example, giving access to emails, giving access to other company documents and information. HR admin can always keep track of that. Next is equipment. This is also very important for HR admins to keep track of equipments provided from the organization to the employees, so that when an employee leaves or gets terminated, then HR admin can uh, take back the equipments and keep a track on what equipments are provided to the people. For example, for most of the cases in the QA, multiple equipments are provided for doing the quality analysis job. For example, multiple uh, mobile phones, multiple devices, etc. So you can keep track of all the devices from here. So next up is skill. Okay, let me quickly show how to add equipment before I go to skills. So here to add equipment, you can select the product name, add the serial number, pick a date for the start and end date. For example, you want to give this product to this person till October 31st, and the location and the document. For example, it can be an image of the device that you have shared with him, assigned to him. It could be other informative, other information and other documents associated to that device. And you can also add notes and then create. Once you create, your device will appear here. So either you can view the equipment and assign the equipment status, or you can edit the equipment as before. So once the equipment is here, now you need to assign it to the specific employee. So after you have created all the equipments, you will assign it to as reserved, and you will pick an employee. For example, this employee, I will reserve this equipment for this employee on this date, and I will also pick an end date for the equipment and then submit. So this person is assigned to this equipment. This is how you assign equipments or device to people. And you can also, if you want to change this reservation, for example, you can archive this equipment, mark it damaged, or mark it as in repair. So in that way, HR admins can also always stay in the page where the equipment is and who is it assigned to. Next is skills. So here you can manage all the skills for the people, so you don't have to do it through spreadsheets. So you can add new skills from here. Maybe you can write it as design and add notes for the skills. You can change the uh, skill image like that. You can also change the background color if required. And then you need to pick an employee for that. For example, you want to add the skill for this employee. You can do that from here or not. It's optional. And then you create. So the skill is created here. What you can do, you can later get inside the skill and add more employees to the skill maybe. So if I want to, I can add this employee and set the skill at level 2, and it will appear here. So this is how you manage your skills. So if you click on the employee, you can also see the skill from here. So the skills are managed from this place, but ultimately your employees can always change their skill level from their profile section. Next up is leave management, which is very important for any employer, or any organization. So this is the leave management page of what every employee or as an HR admin you can see. So the first tab is my leaves. Here you can see the leaves that you have requested for, or the recent leaves uh, that has already been approved or in any status, let's say pending or rejected, or anything that is showed as upcoming leaves as requested. For example, I have applied for a leave in the upcoming date of April 23 to 25, which is I have marked annual leave, so it's already approved, so it shows as an upcoming leave. So because this date hasn't appeared yet, so there is also leave balance. I can quickly see my leave balance. For example, I'm entitled to 10 days of sick leave or 20 days of annual leaves, but ultimately I have taken 0 days of sick leaves and 3 days of annual leave. So this shows my leave balance in an instance. Also, there is a history which shows me that how many leaves have been taken by me. So I can see all the details and also the status of the leave, whether it's approved or not. And also I can do a quick action. I want to increase my dates of leaves or decrease my dates of leaves, I can edit the leave request like that. I can change the date range, and also I can cancel the leave request. But of course, you cannot do it as an employee. Only HR admin can do it, since my role here in this workspace is HR admin. This is why I'm being able to edit the leave request. But like I said before, employees cannot edit the leave request once it's approved. So only HR admin, in case you have applied for 3 days leave and you have taken only 2 days leave, and on the third day you have joined the office back, so your HR admin can edit your leave request and remove the 3 days leave and reduce it to two, and thus your leave balance will be updated again. And also your HR admin can cancel the leave request even if it's approved. Let's say you have get an approval for a leave request but you haven't taken, so it can be canceled later on. So this section showed who requested the leave, how many days of leaves are requested, and also the status when it was applied for, and once it's approved, uh, which date it was approved by HR or supervisor. So, in terms of leaves, if you apply for a leave, it has to be go through an approval process based on the organogram you have set. If you have set a supervisor, then the supervisor must approve the leave. As well as the HR. So let's say you have one supervisor and one HR admin in the workspace. So when you apply for a leave, that leave has to be approved by both supervisor and HR admin, but the HR admin will always have the upper hand. In case the supervisor is not available, HR admin can supersede the approval and approve for the employee's leave without the supervisor having to approve. So, yeah, then comes all leaves of the employees. As an HR admin, you will be able to see this tab, all leaves, but employees cannot see this tab. So in the all leaves section, you can see all the leaves applied by your employees. Let's say there are two employees that have applied for this leave, and there are two types of leaves. One is annual, one is sick leave. So that will also show the day count. If there is a note that this employee has added when the person has applied for the leave, it will appear here. Also, the location, status, and you can do the quick action from here. You can see the leave request, you can edit it, or you can edit the leave request from here right away. Instead of like viewing and editing, you can do it in one click. You can also remove the leave request like that. So if you delete the rate request, it will not impact the deducted balance. I mean, it will, the deducted balance will be again fulfilled, or then we have calendar. So in the calendar section, you can see the leaves applied by employees. Just like all leaves, the calendar will show the employee list, and it will show the leaves as a calendar instead of, as a list that you have already seen in the all leaves section. And in the calendar, you can see that this employee have applied for the annual leave from 23rd to 25th, and this person has applied for the sick leave on 17th. You can move the calendar left and right or to the next month to see all the leaves taken by your employees, so you can plan ahead of your month. If there is a big holiday coming up, if you can see that. You can also see that there are some filters. For example, you can see who's away based on leaves types, team, location, status. For example, some leaves are pending. You can quickly click on them and see the pending leaves and maybe approve them or reject them and do the rest of the actions. You can also see rejected or canceled leaves from here. You can also see holidays. For example, if I pick United States, then I can see the holidays from United States. From this calendar, the holidays will appear in red. For example, if I go to show pendings, so there are no leaves pendings. This is why it will not show any leaves. But otherwise, I can see all the leaves from here. Okay, so if I reset and then go back to March, yeah, I can see all the employee leaves from here. And then comes leave types. So these two leave types are create already created by default by our system, so that you don't get stuck in the contract phase, because without the leave type you cannot create a contract. So you can edit the leave type that's already created, or you can create a new leave type. So let's say BD um, leave type, or maybe a casual leave. Name it a casual leave and create. So it will create another leave type for you. And then you go to policies. In the policies, you create how many days you can assign to that leave type. So this policy already have sick leave and annual leave that's already assigned. You can increase or decrease the number of leaves assigned to each policy, each leave type, or you can create a new policy. A new policy will have the new leave type you have already added. So I can add this policy name to the country, Kenya policy. Okay, leaves, let's say, and I can add a color or something to just to identify it individually. And then I need to assign leaves for that place. For example, I want to add 10 days of sick leave, 15 days of annual leave, and maybe 5 days of casual leave, in total 30 days. And then I have to hit create. It will create a new leave policy for me. So once the leave policy is created, you can go back to the contract, and when you add new contract, you can assign this leave policy to a certain person that you're creating contract for, or you can edit the existing contract and change the leave policy of certain employee. Then comes work schedule. So, work schedule is how many days your employees are working, as per your organization policy. For example, in let's say in Bangladesh, you have your employees working through Sunday to Thursday. Maybe in Norway, you are having your employees working through Monday to Friday. So, different countries have different work days, and based on that, you can set up a new work schedule. For example, I'm setting a work schedule for Albania. I will name it Albania and Mania, and then I select the member. For example, I want to select these two members under this work schedule. And I can also set this default for new employees. For example, I have all the employees from Norway, or I have all the employees from Albania. I can set it as a default. And in that way, you don't have to pick a work schedule every time. So it will automatically select the work schedule of Albania every time you create a new contract for your employee. So if I hit next, then I get to select the holidays. So these are the holidays that is picked from the internet for Albania. If I want to, I can remove some of the holidays from here, or I can add the holidays. For example, I want these two holidays to these three holidays to apply. Let's say there is also an Easter Sunday that I want to add. And these are the full holidays. So this will show the count of holidays. So these are the full four holidays that I want to add in the work schedule. So yeah, and thus I can hit create, and this new work schedule will be created. Okay. So next up is ENPS. So in ENPS is understanding how your organization is performing in the view of your employees. Uh, I mean, if your employees are satisfied with the organization and policy or not, you can count that from ENPS. So you can create an instance survey for your employees. So you can give a survey name, anything. You can set a survey frequency. It could be biweekly, monthly, quarterly, or half yearly. And then you can add a start date or response period. Response period is something that how quickly your employees have to respond to that uh, survey. Let's say 2 weeks, 1 month, or 1 week. It will keep sending them reminders within the response period. You can also select whether you want this survey to be available to everyone of your team, or to a specific team member. A specific team, for example, I want to create the survey for a specific team or specific location. Let's say I want to create the survey for this specific location and not everyone. I can pick the location from here. There is a subject line that you can change in case you require. There is also a body text. This is the basic body text that will appear in the mail for the employee where it will show your workspace name by default, but you can change the body text as well if you need. Then, if I publish the survey, okay, so this is hindering the survey because I only have 3 members in. It requires at least 5 members for the survey because the survey is anonymous. So I need to add 2 more people to my workspace and then only I can conduct this survey so that it stays anonymous in that way because I'm only HR admin and there are only 2 other people in my workspace. So it does not stay anonymous in that way. So the first thing of this survey we require is keep the anonymity. So yeah, that's why it's hindering the survey, but otherwise you can create the survey like that. And once you have created, this will create Tixio NPS survey. um, so when you click on the survey, existing survey, it will show the survey summary. As you can see, the survey is already active. I can pause the survey. So it's a bi-weekly survey. For example, if you go to the survey info, it's set as a bi-weekly frequency and response period is 1 week, and it's for everyone in my workspace. But the survey data, what I can do is I can pause the survey anytime I need, and create a new one or even delete the survey. So deleting the survey will remove all the data you have collected through the survey. So we highly recommend not to do that. uh, in the survey data section, you can see the survey summary, how many people have uh, responded to your survey and what were their response, the rating breakdown. It will stay anonymous. You cannot see who replied what and who rated your company in um, what numbers, but you can see that how many of them are promoters or detractors or given a passive response. And also, if there are any detailed respond or comments from your employees, you can click on this and you can see the comment from here. And you can also find all the comments in this section lined up. So yeah, this is NPS. And finally, there is a profile which you have already seen as a site card before. This is the entire profile section where you can edit all the details of yourself only, not the other employees. Because for other employees, you have to go back to people and you have to click on their detail, I mean, profile card to edit something, but this profile is your own profile, and you can edit the profiles in case you need. You can add skills to gap analysis and add more documents if required. So, any employee who is added to Tixio HR system, that person can go to their own profile and add the details. For example, if my HR asks me to upload my driving license, I can just go to that profile and documents and upload it here, or add more details about myself, add my bank details, etc. So this is more or less about Tixio HR. We also have onboarding, offboarding, playbook, and company insights coming soon. And also we will have this dashboard section filled with more data and reports that might be handy and informative for the HR admin to make quick decisions. So yeah, stay tuned. Take care. Bye bye.